headlines. Customs seizes contraband worth 54 million. Court adjourns Baba Ijesha's trial to September 27th. 4 cholera patients discharged at FMC Kefi. And on the foreign scene, Taliban captures 9th provincial capital in Afghanistan. Welcome to TrustTV News Update. I'm Zainab Bala. The Nigeria Customs Service says it made seizures of various items with a duty-paid value of 54 million from June to date in Zone B, covering Kano and Jigawa axis. DC Osheni Ali Olorukoba, coordinator of the Comptroller General of Customs Strike Force Zone B, stated this at a news briefing on the unit's achievements in the 3 months since June. Ali Olorukoba said the seizures included 5 vehicles, 2 motorcycles, 20 bales of second-hand clothing, 50 jerrycans of foreign vegetable oil, 279 bags of foreign rice, 675 cartons of foreign tomatoes, and 1,517 cartons of foreign soap. He urged traditional rulers in the area to enlighten their subjects to understand that smuggling was an act of sabotage of the nation's development and revenue drive. Ezuba Area Court in Abuja on Wednesday sentenced a laborer, Abu Joel, to 12 months imprisonment for stealing 2 aluminium window frames. Joel pleaded guilty to theft and begged the court for leniency. The prosecution counsel, Chinedu Agada, told the court that the convict went with criminal intent into a construction site without permission of the property owner. The prosecutor said that during police investigation, the convict made a confessional statement admitting to the crime. Now, an Ikeja Special Offences Court has adjourned until September 27 trial of Olariwaju James alias Baba Ijesha, charged with alleged defilement. The trial, which was scheduled to continue Wednesday, did not hold due to the absence of the presiding judge, Justice Oluwatoyin Taiwo. Justice Taiwo is currently attending the judge's retreat alongside other members of the Lagos State Judiciary. The registrar at her court, however, informed newsmen that a new trial date has been communicated to all the parties to the suit. The federal government on Wednesday says consistent testing and non-compliance to non-pharmaceutical interventions are responsible for high reported cases of COVID-19 at the National Youth Service orientation camps. The Minister of Information and Culture, Olaya Mohammed, told newsmen in Abuja that scale-up of COVID-19 testing in various orientation camps across the country had increased the number of cases in the camps. The minister also disclosed that the second phase of the vaccination exercise would target people from 18 years and above. He explained that 18 years and above were targeted because the younger ones are now becoming more vulnerable to COVID-19 infections. A total of 816 Nigerians have lost their lives to cholera outbreak, while 31,425 suspected cases were recorded between the months of January and August 1, 2021, from 22 states and the FCT. This is according to Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The Federal Medical Center in Kefi, Nasarawa State, is one of the affected states. 4 cases have been treated and discharged. TrustTV's Aisha Saliu reports.
A surge in the cholera disease outbreak in some parts of the country has become worrisome as it seems to be spreading fast with the increasing figures of suspected cases and the lives lost. The head of clinical services at the Federal Medical Center, Kefi, Dr. Ede Christopher, gave an analysis of the symptoms of the disease and treatment measures.
Dehydration. It dehydrates. That is, people will lose fluid from their body very, very fast. And at the same time, you find them passing through frequent diarrhea. So you are losing fluid from both ends. And that's why it's called blue death. Because when the person loss of fluid is much, the skin turns blue-gray.
While outlining the safety and prevention techniques to prevent further spread of the disease, Dr. Christopher noted that no cases have been recorded in the month of August at the Federal Medical Center Kefi since the treatment and discharge of 4 patients in July.
For now, we don't have any. Those ones that were recorded last month were treated and have all been discharged. The issue that has to do with cholera has a lot to do with hygienic protocols. Hygiene, okay? Avoiding infected water, bad water, food to be handled very well.
He, however, called on a corporate social responsibility on the part of everyone in creating awareness of the disease to curb its continuous outbreak.
I want to believe that people should also be encouraged to be able to give their best. Corporate social responsibility. Politicians should come out. Pay the money, token money, whatever it is, to these media houses. And they want people to be informed. And you also can do most of them, or some of them free. Because that is part of the corporate social responsibility of everyone. So I want to look at it from these three angles. That if we do that, we'll go far.
A number of cholera cases has been recorded in some parts of the country over the past few months, and Nasarawa State is not an exception. The Federal Medical Center here in Kefi has also treated and discharged some patients suffering from the cholera disease. Officials here say they are on top of the situation as no cases have been recorded so far in the month of August.
Aisha Salihu, TrustTV News, Kefi.
The stakeholders meeting held by the House of Representatives ended in another deadlock as members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors and other medical associations disagreed with the Ministry of Health over some burning issues. The meeting, convened by the House of Representatives Committee on Health, entered second day after the first one held early on Monday. However, the NARD and other medical associations disagreed with the Ministry of Health and the Office of Head of Service over the refusal to regularize resident doctors and other issues, particularly a memo which allegedly emanated from the Health Ministry. Speaking, the President NARD, Dr. Oyilawa Okiwasui, said although they are not satisfied with the outcome of the meeting, they have agreed to meet with the Minister to sort out the issues for the benefit of all Nigerians.
Clear this with your good self and your colleagues as to what the resolutions should really be based on our discussion between yesterday and today.
It's quite unfortunate that after 6 hours of deliberations, we have not still factored in that Nigerians are dying and Nigerians are suffering. And people in the authorities of power are taking priorities of self-office than Nigerians generally. We had an MOA signed in 117 days ago. We had some certain demands pertaining the welfare of our members, those who have lost. And as it stands, we're still having bottlenecks everywhere. I'll give examples. Members on the platform of the gifts that still have been owed 4 months. Decisions met in the meeting is that they have to investigate for the next 2 to 3 weeks what you have verified over 4 months ago. Meaning you still do not want to feel that they deserved to pay their salaries.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, federal government enumerates 560,000 pupils for school feeding in Niger State. That's all coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the TrustTV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search TrustTV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. TrustTV, documenting the Nigerian story.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana ɗabi da jeji.
Aminu Musa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now let's take a look at the stories that made headlines. Nigeria Customs Service says it made seizures of items worth 54 million from June to date in Zone B, covering Kano and jigawa access. Federal government says testing and non-compliance to non-pharmaceutical interventions are responsible for high reported cases of COVID-19 at NYC orientation camps. Still ahead, the federal government has commenced biometric data capture of 560,000 pupils from 2,632 primary schools benefiting from the National Homegrown School Feeding Program in Niger State. Fatima Bisalla, team leader for the enumeration from the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, disclosed this in Minna. It is reported that the NHGSFP is a federal government-led 7-day feeding program aimed at improving the health and educational status of public school pupils. Bisalla said the exercise was a physical verification to capture and get accurate biometric data of pupils and cooks in the school to scale up the program to include more pupils. No fewer than 17 rangers in Nigeria have died within the last 1 year, the National Park Service has disclosed on Tuesday. The Conservator General, Dr. Ibrahim Goni, National Park Service, made this known during a memorial in honor of fallen rangers on World Rangers Day in Abuja. The report.
Loggers, miners, grazers, and trekking of the long distance, inadequate patrol vehicles, use of obsolete firearms, inadequate modern equipment, and inadequate manpower. However, it is sad to also note that in the recent times, these challenges have taken a new dimension as park rangers now grapple with terrorists, kidnappers, and cattle rustlers and bandits. I am pleased to inform you that the government is abreast of these odious challenges that are debilitating the National Park Service to function optimally as the foremost government conservation institution in Nigeria, charged with the responsibility of protecting, preserving, and conserving the nation's natural resources.
They weather the storm to ensure that you and I are safe from all forms of environmental-related hazard by preventing biodiversity loss, ecosystem degradation, biological monitoring, habitat monitoring, human-wildlife conflict mitigation, tourism management, community engagement, education, among many others.
Record made available by the International Rangers Federation indicate that a total number of 120 rangers had lost their lives in the line of duty from August 2020 to 30th July 2021 across the globe, and Nigeria accounts for 17 deaths out of this figure.
The government has done a lot. They have collaborated with other NGOs, and some of our rangers have been trained. Some of the equipment we need for effective protections of the resources have been provided. And indeed, we really appreciate the government for that.
And in business, the World Bank has stated that Nigeria is among a list of top 10 countries with high debt risk exposure. It stated this in the financial statement for International Development Association, which was among the World Bank FY2 and audited financial statements. Nigeria is rated 5th in the list with $11.7 billion debt stock. It is discovered that Nigeria's undisbursed balance with the World Bank is about $8.656 billion as of June 30th, 2021. According to the financial statement for the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, Nigeria has a total of $589 million undisbursed balance, consisting of $500 million loan approved but not yet signed and $89 million signed loan commitment. Abuja Municipal Area Council has withdrawn the levy it imposed on companies for using generators to power their businesses. This is coming after outcry by business owners that AMAC officials have distributed payment notices to several organizations in the FCT. Darshan Hussein Osman reports.
Some business owners in Abuja last week expressed their disapproval after management of Abuja Municipal Area Council Environmental Services gave out letters for payment of an annual fee for using generators. Many business owners are asking questions like what the taxes will be used for or how AMAC intends to regulate, inspect, and control these hazardous substances once taxes are collected. AMAC Chief Revenue Officer speaks on the issue.
The Federal Environmental Protection Agencies Act number 3 provides that such emissions should be regulated because there is need to test these emissions and ensure that these things are not too hazardous for the health of the citizens of this city. And that is why, being the local government, the third tier of government that is closer to the people, and the welfare of the people is our main concern, and especially when there are outbreaks of some of these small diseases, the first point of call is the area council. And how do we stop it? And going by that law, we decided to, start regulating the usage of any machine that will bring out such gaseous, dangerous gas that will be injurious to human health.
Business owners call on government to work towards improving power generation in order to avoid such policies. They also complain of receiving 4 to 5 payment notices in a week, calling it harassment and a plan to stifle or cripple businesses.
Getting multiplicity or otherwise, as stated or as argued by some people, is based on what you are doing. What type of business are you into? If your business demands that you utilize more than 3 or 4 things that appear within the law, definitely you will be served those bills. So it does not mean that we are overburdening you. Because, for instance, if you have a boutique, you will pay shop and kiosk, which is statutory. And within that, your shop, if you display your advert there, you pay for signpost. So by the time we start, and if you are generating waste, you pay for waste management. So if we come and say, pay the bill for this, and you think it is overburdened, but the things that we are demanding for are provided there.
The council chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, said that because the new policy has generated public outcry and to encourage businesses grow, he had directed its withdrawal since the 4th of August. Adamu said that anyone claiming to be an AMAC revenue collector on gas emission is not a staff, apologizing for any pain the policy may have caused residents. Darshan Hussaina Usman, TrustTV News, Abuja.
And on the foreign scene, the Taliban seized 3 more provincial capitals in Afghanistan. Officials said on Wednesday, putting the 9 of the nation's 34 in the insurgents' hands amid the U.S. withdrawal from the country as tens of thousands of people fled their homes in the north for the relative safety of the capital and other centers. An official confirmed on Wednesday that 200 kilometers from Kabul, Taliban fighters took control of another city in northern Afghanistan. A provincial council member from Badakhshan told the local media reporters that the Taliban capture of Faizabad, the capital of the northeastern province of Badakhshan, after a long battle, government forces retreated to a neighboring district, Jawad Mujahideen. He said Taliban fighters had taken most of the province and laid siege to Faizabad before launching an offensive on Tuesday. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa on Wednesday resumed his much-anticipated testimony in front of a judicial inquiry into corruption, a month after his predecessor was jailed for ignoring the same investigators. It is Ramaphosa's second time appearing before the panel, which has been probing the alleged looting of state confers during former President Jacob Zuma's 2009 to 2018 tenure. Ramaphosa will be answering questions as both the former deputy president under Zuma and as the current head of state. And in sports, the president of Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, has expressed delight over Lionel Messi's decision to join the team. Al-Khelaifi said PSG is proud that Messi opted to join the club. This was disclosed via PSG's verified Twitter handle on Wednesday. TrustTV recalls Messi signed for PSG on Tuesday after his contract with Barcelona expired. The Argentine superstar signed a 2-year deal with an option of a 3rd year. And Nigeria's performance at the just concluded Tokyo 2020 Olympics is disappointing to many stakeholders. Sports enthusiasts express mixed feelings on Nigeria's outing. Trust TV's Mardi Omar tells us more.
Team Nigeria is placed 74th at the end of the 2020 Tokyo Games on Sunday and 8th best among the 54 African nations at the Games. Nigeria won 2 medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze after being represented by 55 athletes. While Isabrume won the bronze medal from the women's long jump event, Blessing Oborodudu won the silver medal from the wrestling event's women's freestyle 68 kg. The Games, which began on July 23rd and ended on Sunday, August 8th, had 93 of the 206 participating teams making it to the medals table, including 13 out of the 54 from Africa. The top 10 teams in Africa were Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Tunisia, Morocco, Nigeria in the 8th position, while Namibia and Botswana were in the 9th and 10th position respectively. Sport enthusiasts in Nigeria speak about the overall performance of Team Nigeria at the just concluded Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games.
A man that failed to plan, plans to fail. Nigeria, as a matter of fact, we like a kind of fire brigade approach in our teams, especially in sport. And if we are to be reasonable, sport is the only thing, I believe, that is uniting us as a country. Our plan is nothing to write home about.
If we are actually going to make a remarkable statement in an Olympic, we should go into our university sports, grassroots sports. That alone will help us.
Rafiu Oladipo, President General, Worldwide Nigerian Football Supporters Club, and President Boxing Board of Control also speak.
It wasn't a bad outing. It was just that our efforts were not good enough to win medals in those other sports. What we should do now is to look back. When an elderly man falls down, he looks back to find out what made him fall so that he can correct it. Now, looking back at what happened, we must be able to identify why it was so.
Although Team Nigeria won 2 medals in the just concluded Tokyo 2020 Games in Tokyo, Japan, some sport enthusiasts in the Federal Capital Territory feels that with better preparation, Team Nigeria can do more in the Olympics and compete internationally in other sports around the globe. Martia Omar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Well, that's it on News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Thank you for watching.